Hi there, I'm Timothy Linsdau, video producer and Christian. Today I'm putting on my waste to energy science cap and seeing how we can deal with our recycling and waste issues that we're having in this country. Please like and comment on my video and subscribe to support my channel. Thank you. That is becoming a big issue, especially in California, where once recycling we thought would be the savior to our waste issues, and now it's turned into a problem that's costing great sums of money that once were paying for themselves. There's an example of one major facility in California that was making $50,000 a month off of its recycling program. Today it's losing $40,000 a month. And now China has stopped a lot of imports, saying trash imports, saying that the imports were not properly separated as they should have been. So now it's backing up, even though there are attempts to sell to Vietnam and other countries. I think we should consider other ways of solving this issue. As I've said before, if we can send people to the moon, and if we're planning on sending people to Mars, we could figure this trash thing out. And there are those who are working on it to make it happen. And one of them is waste to energy. Municipal solid waste, often called garbage, is used to produce energy in waste energy plants and landfills in the United States as of right now. There are up to at least 71 plants in the U.S. that are doing that right at this time. Countries like Indonesia, which is an island nation, doesn't have a lot of space to put trash, and their president recently has encouraged, I don't know if you could order it, but encouraged cities in Indonesia to start building more trash burning plants. I believe they have some of number now, but they need even more. Probably the biggest success story for trash burning, if you will, is Sweden. And the numbers are like this. 4 tons of garbage contains energy equivalent to 1 ton of oil, or 1.6 tons of coal, or 5 tons of wood waste, according to the company from Sweden. Now, Sweden is known for strikingly reducing the trash sent to its landfills. Less than 1% of household waste in this Scandinavian country finds its way into landfills. That's pretty amazing. So what is this waste energy plant thing all about? I'm sure one of the first questions by many is going to be, what are we going to do with about the emissions for climate change? And that is actually part of these plants. They produce, it's a totally different thing than what it was in burning trash in incinerators. This is now a system designed to have as little amount of emissions as possible. And of course, the whole point is to produce electricity with this, to use this waste material in a way that is a benefit for everyone, and to pay for that system, because it's going to have an expense. The trash has to be hauled. It has to be separated in some fashion from non-combustibles and prepared to be used in the plant. Modern waste-to-energy plants are very different, as I said, from incinerators that were commonly used decades ago. Now, unlike modern plants, these plants usually do not. The incinerator system didn't use or didn't remove hazardous or recycled material before burning. Of course, that was dangerous to health, nearby residents and workers, and those didn't generate electricity. Now, these are actually electricity producing plants in burning this trash. Now, I remember some years ago, this was heavily proposed in California by a number of people, but of course many Californians says, not in my backyard. But these new systems are pretty amazing. I've seen diagrams of them that have systems that scrub, if you will, the emissions and actually can collect the emissions, thus reducing the CO2 and particulate emissions greatly to the point that they're as safe as anything else. Most waste-to-energy plants burn municipal solid waste, but some burn industrial waste or hazardous waste. Now, industrial waste is the waste produced by industrial activity, which includes any material that is rendered unless during a manufacturing process, such as that of factories, industries, mills. Types of industrial waste include dirt and gravel, masonry, and concrete. Also, one of the byproducts is ash that's collected, and that can be used to make cinder blocks. So there are byproducts that are, because of these plants, that are extra beyond the normal process of burning. Now, gasification is part of this part of the system. What it does is it converts organic and fossil fuel carbonaceous materials into carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. This is achieved by reacting the material to high temperatures of over 700 degrees centigrade without combustion by controlling the oxygen and using steam. The typical plant with a capacity of 400 gigawatts of energy produced usually is about $500 million to build. Waste energy plants may have significant cost advantage over traditional power options, as the waste energy operator may receive revenue for receiving waste as an alternative to the cost of disposing the waste in a landfill. That's typically referred to as a tipping fee per ton basis, versus having to pay for the cost of fuel, whereas fuel can account for as much as 45% of the cost to produce electricity in a coal-fired plant, and 75% or more of the cost in a natural gas-powered plant. The National Solid Waste Management Association estimates that the average United States tipping fee in 2002 was $33.70 per ton. Now, pollution again is an issue, and they are working diligently, and it looks to me as solving those issues. Dioxin is one issue of concern as far as being a carcinogen, but it seems to be possibly a minimum issue. Pollution control measures use things that are called bag houses, scrubbers, electrostatic precipitators, high temperature efficient combustion, and effective scrubbing and controls can significantly reduce air pollution outputs. So that's very important. So this is being worked on, not only worked on, but being used and perfected of ways to burn this trash and use it as fuel to power electric generators, producing all the electricity that not all, but the electricity that we need. So there are multiple issues to deal with, and that's very important. The material or biomass used is biogenic plant or animal products, materials such as paper, cardboard, food waste, grass clippings, leaves, wood, lead are byproducts. Non-biomass combustible materials such as plastics and other synthetic materials made from petroleum, and non-combustible materials such as glass and metals. That's just to understand the definitions of what the solid waste is. In the United States, in 2015, about 262 million tons of this mass waste was generated in the United States. 52.5% was landfilled, 25.8% was recycled, 12.8% was burned with energy recovery, and 8.9% was composted. I think we'll go into more of this. There's more details. In that process of high heating without combustion creates a synthetic fuel that is used, and we can go into that more later. But so there are things that are being done already. Another one is used tire incinerators. I've seen studies done on that and developed in Germany to do the same thing, to use them as fuel to power plants to produce energy. So this stuff can be done. We have to understand the byproducts of it, how to deal with those, and what we can do. And actually some byproducts can be useful. So there you are. Like and comment on my videos, subscribe to support my channel, and get out there and learn about this stuff and what we can do to solve problems and make it a great day.